This man put on a clown costume, but it turned out there was no way to take it off. Creepy, isn't it? Well, believe me, it gets even creepier after you watch our recap of the movie Clown. Little Jack's birthday is coming up soon. The kid is a huge fan of clowns. His parents Kent and Meg are well aware of that, so they decorate absolutely everything with clowns. While they're preparing the party, Jack's mom tells her friend that she's pregnant with a second baby. Alas, Kent is late to the party. He's a real estate agent and is constantly running tons of errands. Meg complains to her husband that the clown hired for Jack's birthday is unable to make it. The boy will get very upset. But in one of the houses for sale, Kent finds a time-worn clown costume. Jack is absolutely delighted. It's the best birthday ever. In the evening, a happy, exhausted boy falls asleep right on the floor. Kent is very proud of himself. Meg goes to take a shower and asks her husband to take off the costume to get a nice present from her. But the exhausted man falls asleep on the couch with his makeup on. In the morning, Kent, wearing the same costume, takes his son to school and then arrives at work. The outfit draws amazement and laughter from Kent's co-workers. The man finally washes off some of his brightly colored makeup. But here's the problem. The clown wig is literally glued to his head. He also can't get rid of the fake nose. It seems like it is glued to Kent's face. The man can't get the costume off either. The man tries to cut it open, but it hurts his arm. He takes a bigger tool and keeps trying to get out of this odd clown costume. Alas, something goes wrong. The electric hacksaw breaks while the costume remains perfectly intact. While Kent returns home, he complains to his wife that he can't get rid of the damn wig, nose and costume, and he needs to pee very badly. Meg laughs at first and then tries to pull off the fake nose. Ken screams and his wife pulls the instrument with all her might. That's it, the red nose falls to the floor. Their dog immediately eats it. Kent is wounded, so he presses a tissue to his face. At this point, Meg realizes that the clown's wig has become Kent's natural hair, dyed and curled somehow. Kent goes to the hospital to get his nose bandaged. The man realizes that something very strange is happening to him. Kent cuts off some of his colored hair and masks the remnants of the white makeup with foundation. He decides to look for the owner of the house where the clown costume was, but learns that he has died. The man also realizes that he starts to exhibit some strange interest in kids. Later on, Kent heads to the party store, which is full of stuff for Halloween and other holidays. The saleswoman gives him the address of a man who used to sell the same clown costumes. Kent immediately calls someone named Herbert Carlson. The man begs Kent not to touch the costume under any circumstances. Kent tells him that he's wearing the costume. He immediately heads off to meet Carlson. The man treats him to tea and tells him the story of how clowns came to be. It appears that originally they were rather creepy and scary creatures that terrified children rather than making them laugh. Kent's getting sick. Looks like Carlson added something to his tea. Yep, he did. Carlson is sharpening his cleaver while the unconscious Kent is lying tied up. Kent comes back to his senses and is horrified at this development. He tears off the ropes, quickly gets to his feet and attacks Carlson. He finally explains to Kent that this isn't a costume, but the actual hair and skin of an ancient demon. Kent comes home and asks his wife to call the police. He also encounters many guests. They all stare in surprise as the man is dressed as a clown. Kent takes them to his car. A tied-up Carlson sits in the back seat. Kent takes him to the police station. But on the way, he notices that something very strange is happening to his body. It changes literally before his eyes. Carlson manages to free himself and attacks Kent. A fight behind the wheel usually leads to nothing good. So, of course, the car gets into an accident. Carlson is seriously injured, and a frightened Kent runs away. Meg arrives at the police station and reports her husband missing. Her father asks her to move in with him for a while, as Kent behaves quite inadequately. At midnight, Kent finds himself near a children's tourist camp. One of the boys is sent to wash a dirty plate left by the fire. The boy notices Kent by a tree. The man asks the boy to bring him some food. The kind boy offers him some cookies, but it seems that the boy's hand seems more delicious to Kent than the cookies. The boy runs off screaming into the woods. A new day is dawning. Meg studies the book Kent took from Carson and realizes that clowns are way too far from being funny and harmless. Meanwhile, Kent notices a new change in his appearance, which makes him puke in public restroom. He locks himself in one of the booths and hears a group of children coming in. One of the boys sees him and screams in fright. Kent immediately runs away. Unfortunately, the clown costume attacks children a lot. Another boy, Robbie, approaches him on the street. Kent holds himself back from attacking him with all his might and hides in one of the houses for sale. He screams desperately, clasping his head in his hands. In the evening, Meg and Jack notice that dog has been acting strange ever since he ate the clown's nose. Kent calls his wife to say goodbye to her, and then he tries to make away with himself using a gun. Rainbow splatters appear on the wall, but the man survives. So he goes to the hardware store and gets a circle saw. Meg leaves to look for her husband in all the houses where he worked as a real estate agent. Meanwhile, Kent is building a device that could help him finally kick the bucket. The circle saw must do the job. However, the man lacks the courage to take this desperate step. He simply falls next to his homemade guillotine on his third attempt. At this moment, the very same boy Robbie enters the house, and a nasty surprise awaits for him there. Kent is very upset, and at the same time, hungry. Well, you get the idea. Soon, Meg pulls up to the same house. Kent begs the woman not to open the door, and then she tells him that she's pregnant. This news finally makes him open the door. He asks Meg to take him home. She hides her husband in the basement and chains him up to a pipe. Kent pleads with her not to free him under any circumstances. Meg reads the creepy book about clowns again, hoping to find a way to save her husband. She finds some information there about brothers named Martin and Herbert Carlson. It was Herbert who recently attacked her husband. The woman immediately goes to the hospital to see Carlson and begs him for help. The man grabs a piece of paper and writes that she can no longer trust her husband. Meg fails to get any useful information from Carlson, so she goes to the very house where Kent found the ill-fated clown costume. There, she finds a chair like in a mental hospital and a video camera. The old tape shows footage of a creepy demon-like clown. Meanwhile, little Jack is being teased by school bullies. The boy runs home crying hysterically. At home, he hears his dad's voice from the basement and goes down to him. Jack complains to his dad about school bullies, and Kent asks his son to bring him a bolt cutter. Uh-oh. Meg gets home and finds a frightened Jack, but Kent is already gone. He went to deal with the school bullies. One of them, Colton, is playing a computer game at home and notices that his front door is open. Kent is standing in the hallway. Now, he'll be the one playing the game. Meg sends Jack to stay with his grandfather. Suddenly, the woman is nearly attacked by her own dog. It has turned into a demon after eating the clown's nose. But Carlson with his machete makes it in just a nick of time to save her. The man tells Meg the story of the cursed costume. He found it among the packages from Iceland and wanted to wear it to cheer up the ill children at the hospital where his brother Martin worked. A demon possessed him, but the curse was broken. Martin had to feed 5 children from the hospital to the clown to free his brother. Jack tells his mom that Daddy has gone to see the school bully Colton. Meg takes her son to his grandfather. Then she and Carlson go to the boy's house. Alas, they are too late. They're horrified to see what's happened there. Meanwhile, Kent goes to a children's amusement park. Boys and girls enjoy the fun and have no idea what danger they are in. Meg and Carlson arrive there as well. The woman passes by slides and slot machines, but can't find Kent anywhere. It turns out that the man is hiding in a huge maze. One of the boys gets there to find his brother, but instead he finds a less pleasant surprise. Panic breaks out among the children because of the blood on the slide. Everyone runs hysterically away from the amusement park. Carlson and Meg search for Kent everywhere and find him among the theater sets. The man looks truly horrible. Carlson attacks Kent, but the clown is much stronger. He throws his rival to the ground and orders Meg to find and feed him one more child in return for Kent's release. If she doesn't, the clown will come for her son, Jack. Meg runs outside in terror. She looks around for some child who has been lost. One of the girls recognizes recognizes Meg and asks the woman to give her a ride home. Instead, Meg takes the schoolgirl to feed her to the clown. They stop at some deserted place and the girl gets out of the car. Meg immediately closes the door and the schoolgirl begins to cry in panic. The clown appears behind her back. Unable to stand it, Meg opens the door and begs the girl to get back into the car. At that moment, a policeman appears on the road. The schoolgirl is saved, but Jack is in great danger. Meg's father brings his grandson back home to have a serious talk with Kent about his behavior. Meg also comes home and sees the clown attacking her father. The demon demands that the woman brings him another child. Meg grabs a hammer, but at that moment, Jack comes down from the second floor. Between Kent and Meg begins a real fight for survival. The clown pulls his hands to her belly. Jack tries to escape, and the clown goes after him. However, the wounded Meg attacks him from behind. After another fight, the woman ends up on the floor, and Kent goes on searching for Jack. However, he can't get the boy out of the locked closet. Then, he breaks the wooden planks and is about to grab Jack. Meg, from her last forces, pulls a metal chain around the clown's neck and chains him up to a pipe again. She picks up the hammer and asks her son to close his eyes. One mighty hit and they are finally safe. Meg embraces her son and begs for his forgiveness. What's left of the clown dissolves, as if in acid. At the morgue, the clown's wig and costume are taken in as evidence. If someone wears them, well, you know what will happen next.